Welcome to this explainer. Today we're embarking on a seriously profound journey into a hidden biological web that is quite literally running your life every single second. We all kind of walk around believing we're in complete conscious control, right? In control of our thoughts, our health, how we respond to the world. But what if I told you that just beneath your awareness, there's this incredibly complex, ancient system that's actually pulling all the strings?
So I want you to really ask yourself, what invisible biological forces are shaping the quality of your life every single day? We tend to think of our mood, our stress levels, and even our long-term health as things we can just willpower our way through. But the science is revealing a completely different reality. Your perceived autonomy over your own body is actually being constantly challenged by an automatic neural network you probably never even think about.
Because the truth is, you're running a hidden operating system, and it is currently driving your reality. This system dictates whether you feel safe or threatened, energized or totally exhausted, laser-focused or completely scattered. And honestly, the most fascinating part? Most people go their entire lives without ever finding the control panel. But today, we're going to change that. We're going to uncover exactly how this system works, the really surprising ways it's secretly failing you right now, and more importantly, how you can finally take the wheel.
All right, Section 1, the hidden operating system. Let's jump right into identifying this master control center. It's called the autonomic nervous system, and it operates almost entirely outside of our conscious awareness, managing absolutely everything from your heartbeat to your digestion to your immune response.
Okay, let's dive into this. Your autonomic nervous system basically has two main gears that act as a biological accelerator and brake. First up, we have the sympathetic nervous system. This is your accelerator. It triggers that famous fight-or-flight response. It spikes your heart rate, dilates your pupils so you can take in more light, and it actually pauses your digestion just to divert all that energy to your muscles. It's designed to save your life. But in opposition, we have the parasympathetic nervous system. This is your brake. It drives the rest and digest state. It slows your heart down, promotes deep physical recovery, and actually reduces systemic inflammation. These two systems are in this constant, beautiful tug-of-war to keep you perfectly balanced and alive. Section 2, stuck in survival mode. And here is where we uncover a massive hidden problem. Because the very system that was brilliantly designed to save us is, in our modern world, secretly draining us. We are facing a profound evolutionary mismatch.
Think about it for a second. This system's ancient design was calibrated for acute physical threats. We're talking a charging lion. You see the lion, your sympathetic accelerator hits the floor, you run like crazy, and if you survive, the threat is over and your parasympathetic brake kicks right back in. You recover. But our modern reality? It's just filled with ambiguous psychological threats. An urgent email from your boss, a mortgage payment, nonstop social media notifications. Your brain's threat detection center, the amygdala, literally cannot tell the difference between a predator and a highly stressful text message. The result is that millions of us are trapped in a state of chronic, low-grade sympathetic activation. You're never fully in danger, but you are never fully at rest. And the consequences of that? Anxiety, brain fog, a tanked immune system, and chronic inflammation.
Now, what's really interesting about this is a concept called neuroception. To understand why we get stuck, we have to grasp this. It's a term from polyvagal theory, and it describes how your nervous system is continuously, entirely subconsciously scanning your inner body, your environment, and even the micro-expressions on the faces of people around you for cues of safety or danger. This happens before your conscious mind even registers a single thought. Your body is running a life or death calculation in the background every single second of the day. Section 3. The vagus nerve reset. So, if we are stuck in this subconscious loop of chronic stress, how on earth do we get out? Well, the incredible news is that human biology comes with a back door. We actually have a manual override switch. This brings us perfectly to the groundbreaking work of Dr. Stephen Porges and polyvagal theory, which basically maps our physiological state onto an evolutionary ladder. Up at the very top, the newest part of our nervous system is the ventral vagal state. This is where we feel completely safe, socially connected, and calm. But if we detect danger, we drop down a rung into the sympathetic state. That's fight or flight. And if we feel entirely trapped, facing a massive life threat, we drop all the way to the very bottom, the ancient dorsal vagal state. That triggers a really dark physiological shutdown or freeze response. To heal, to thrive, we have to learn how to climb back up that ladder. And the magnificent biological vehicle we use to climb that ladder? That's the vagus nerve. This is your body's 10th cranial nerve, and its name literally means the wanderer in Latin. It is the primary superhighway of your parasympathetic brake.
It wanders all the way from your brainstem, down through your heart, your lungs, and deep into your gut. When the vagus nerve fires, it sends this powerful, sweeping biological signal to your entire body saying, "Stand down, the threat is over, it is time to recover and reduce inflammation."
Section 4. Hacking your autonomic tone. Understanding the vagus nerve is one thing, right? But how do we actually activate it? How do we shift from the theory into the practical, physical mechanics of taking control of our physiological state?
Well, the very first step is knowing how to measure it. Enter heart rate variability, or HRV. You've probably seen this metric on your smartwatch or fitness tracker. HRV measures the microscopic variations in the time intervals between your consecutive heartbeats, and it is the ultimate hidden metric for human resilience. A higher HRV means you have a remarkably strong vagal brake, your nervous system is highly adaptable, oscillating beautifully back and forth between the accelerator and the brake. A low HRV means your system is rigid, stressed, and basically stuck. And this brilliantly illustrates our ultimate tool for change, respiration. It's actually the only autonomic function we can consciously control. We can literally manipulate our HRV through 3 incredibly well-researched protocols. First, box breathing, which balances your tone and builds CO2 tolerance over time. Then there's the physiological sigh, which is a double inhale through the nose, followed by a long exhale through the mouth. That rapidly reinflates your lungs alveoli and dumps CO2, making it the perfect tool to crush acute panic in real time. And finally, resonance frequency breathing, right around 5.5 seconds in and out. That perfectly synchronizes your heart rate with your respiration, maximizing your HRV and your vagal tone over the long term.
Let's zoom in on the exact mechanics of box breathing for a second, famously used by Navy SEALs. See, it's not just counting in your head. It is a profound biological manipulation. When you inhale deeply for 4 seconds, you push your diaphragm down, which physically stretches these stretch receptors, called baroreceptors, in your blood vessels. Holding the breath sustains that calming signal. Then, the 4-second exhale heavily activates the vagus nerve, immediately and noticeably slowing the heart down. And that final empty lung hold, it slightly increases carbon dioxide, which, somewhat ironically, actually enhances oxygen delivery straight into your tissues. You are literally typing lines of code directly into your brainstem to suppress your sympathetic output. It's amazing.
Section 5. The gut-brain axis. Now, as mind-blowing as breathwork is, it's really only half the story. Because the vagus nerve is actually a two-way street. Yes, signals travel down from the brain to calm the body, but a massive 80 to 90% of vagal nerve fibers actually travel up from the body to the brain. And the origin point of those upward signals? It's your gut.
Welcome to the microbiota gut-brain axis. Your gut is quite literally a microbial neurofactory. Think about this. The bacteria living inside you right now manufacture approximately 90% of your body's serotonin. That is a key neurotransmitter for mood regulation. Specific bacteria, like Clostridium butyricum, directly influence the synthesis of GABA, your brain's primary calming chemical. These microbes ferment the fiber you eat to create short-chain fatty acids, which travel up and regulate neural plasticity, meaning your brain's actual ability to learn and adapt. Conversely, harmful bacteria secrete toxic molecules called LPS. Those travel up the vagus nerve and trigger neuroinflammation, directly leading to brain fog and cognitive decline. Your mood is, quite literally, being manufactured in your digestive tract.
So, the crucial point here is that your daily lifestyle choices are physically altering these microbial factories. On one side, we have the protectors, things like dietary fiber, omega-3s, and getting healthy sleep. These feed the good bacteria, creating those protective short-chain fatty acids and boosting your vagal tone. And on the other side, we have the disruptors, high-sugar diets, heavy metals, and yes, chronic stress itself. These literally destroy the integrity of your gut lining, allowing harmful toxins to leak into your bloodstream and send massive alarm signals straight up to your brain. You simply cannot separate your nutritional health from your mental health anymore. They are one and the same.
Section 6. One deeply interconnected system. We've looked at the nervous system, the breath, and the gut. But the ultimate revelation is seeing how all these pieces fit together into a grand, unified synthesis of human biology.
Let's move to how this builds into an incredible, unbroken biological chain reaction occurring inside you right this very second. Your behavior, how you breathe, what you eat, how you perceive a stressful email, directly influences your autonomic nervous system. Your nervous system, via the vagus nerve, then dictates your immune response and your levels of inflammation. And that systemic inflammation? It ultimately shapes your brain health, your cognitive longevity, and the actual rate at which you biologically age. It is one continuous loop.
Which brings us to a really profound realization. Health is not a collection of separate habits. It is the emergent result of countless interconnected biological processes occurring every moment of every day. Deep sleep optimization, circadian rhythms, breath work, and gut health. They aren't just isolated checkboxes on some wellness to-do list. They are all different access points to the exact same hidden operating system. When you pull on one single thread, the entire biological web responds.
Which leaves us with one final thought. You now possess the blueprint. You know that a slow, intentional exhale can manually override a panic response. You know that the fiber on your dinner plate is actively producing the neurotransmitters that will determine your resilience tomorrow morning. You are not just a passenger in your body. You are the programmer. So knowing that you have this immense, interconnected power right at your fingertips, how will you choose to program your hidden operating system today?